Welcome to my 13-day Halloween countdown. Day 3.
Good evening, folks. It's day 3 of the 13-day Halloween countdown. Not a lot been happening today, so I'll get straight on with the unboxing of the calendar, and then I'll have a bit of a rattle about something else which has been knocking me somewhat. So I'll get back in a second. So here we have Advent calendar. Oh, I've been told, by the way, yesterday's was Lydia from Beetlejuice. I didn't have a clue. My wife actually came down and the first thing she said was, "That's Lydia from Beetlejuice." So it's Lydia from Beetlejuice. I wouldn't have had a clue, I must admit. Here we have again. Whoops, I put it back to front. There we have the doors. 1 to 13. And we're on door 3. As you can see, there's 1 and 2 open. This is door 3. Yeah. Red bag. Stand-up advent calendar. Scissors. Red bag. What mystery is going to await us today? And in number 3 we have... Oh, I know this is straight away. Hang on, let me try and get it out the light so you can see it proper. Hold on. That's too high. That's too low. Hang on, I'll get it in a minute for you. He's holding an axe, and it's a mini Jack Torrance from The Shining. I am 99% certain of that one. I don't think I need any help with that one. Just hold on a minute. Let me just try to turn down this brightness a bit, shall we? That's a bit better, isn't it? There he is, Jack Torrance from The Shining. Let's see if I can show you close up. Hold on. Yeah, I've got pictures coming up anyway, so you'll be able to see pictures of him. There he is. There's Jack with his axe. Like I say, you can't see it very clearly. You can probably see it better if I do that, actually. Now you can see him. He's holding a bloodied axe in his hand anyway. And it's definitely Jack Torrance, that is. Definitely, 100% certain. Jack Torrance from The Shining. So that's day 3 of the 13-day Advent calendar. Right, in my last few vlogs I've been talking about things that have generally been happening in the last few months and that have either got on my nerves or just something I've needed to vent about. Now this one isn't so much a vent as such, but it's more a question. When did we start becoming so selfish? What triggered it? What started us down this road? Because I was thinking earlier on, we were on about community, and the lady across the road knocked on the door, and when I opened the door she'd got a packet with a couple of cakes in, and she said, we bought too many and you always help us out, we're helping you, do you want these cakes? So we had a cake. And I thought to myself, that's community, that's community in this street. There's a lot of people in this street that know each other and really, really well, and they're the kind of people that will look after, watch your house for you while you go away, or in our case feed the they've got a lizard. Is it a lizard? I think it's a lizard they've got next door called Rango, and he needs looking after. So when they go away, Deb always goes round, gives him a cricket out the tub while it's still moving, which is nasty, and sprays him and all that sort of stuff. And that's community. Now, this street is quite community based. There's only about 30 houses, give or take, I would say. Yeah, about 30 houses altogether. And most people know each other. And we know each other by first names. And like I say, we will take parcels in for each other. We will look out for each other. If any of us need anything, we will get in touch with each other. you know, and this community spirit is fantastic. Now, I'm not going to say it's because of the lockdown that we all suddenly became buddies, because we weren't. We were all friendly anyway. I mean, we've always been the kind of people that are quite happy with our neighbours. If they treat us fine, we treat them fine. You know, I mean, we've got so many friends in this street. Excuse me a minute. That's my computer telling me, my mobile phone telling me that my meds are due. And rather than it going off every 30 seconds, I'll just turn it off before I carry on. It's annoying, but it's so, because I've got this terrible habit of forgetting my meds. Believe it or not, I actually forget to take my meds, and as they're very, very important meds, like thyroid medication and painkillers and all sorts of weird and wonderful stuff, then if I forget them, I do tend to end up ill, so I've got to not forget them. Yeah, like I was saying, we've got a good sense of community spirit. Now, when I was growing up, we lived in a place called Unwin Street in Braidley, and what Braidley was it was basically rows of terraced houses. Now, people turn their nose up at terraced houses these days. They don't want to know it because, you know, they want to be detached or semi-detached, etc. Now, we live in a semi-detached house now, but I remember growing up in a terraced street, and literally everybody in that street was the same. We all had no money. Nobody was loaded. Nobody had, you know, 3 cars or nothing like that. If somebody had a car in the street, it was a miracle. Anyway, the community that existed back then was the kind of community where if you went out your front door and your mum asked you to just nip down the shop to get some groceries from, say, the butcher or the post office or even the newsagents at the bottom, you knew you could go out and leave your door on the latch. You know, you would just literally put it on the latch, pull it to, and leave it. You wouldn't lock it. You would literally leave it on the latch. And then you would go do your shopping. And you would come back knowing that nobody will have been in your house. Nobody would have even tried your house while you weren't there. And now I was brought up on this. Now, I was thinking that I can remember that up to when I was about 12, 13 years old. So in them 35 years since I was 12, 13, where did we become so selfish? Where did we lose our community spirit? Where did we lose our ability to want to help each other and to want to be friendly with each other? I think the trouble started when the internet came out. And the reason I'm saying that is because before the internet, the way you used to find out gossip was a couple of people meeting, either your dad's in a pub with a pint and they would get the gossip, or the women would meet while they were doing the shopping, or in the back garden while they were putting the washing out, or just if they were neighbours just talking over the fence. And this is how the gossip, you know, this is how you'd find out what was going on in the community and what was going on in the neighbourhood. Now, because of the internet, that kind of thing has disappeared a bit. You don't get many people just going in people's houses for a cup of tea or a cup of coffee. And again, I'm not talking COVID times, because obviously you can't do that at the moment. But you don't get that very often. You've got to be really, really close with somebody. And you certainly wouldn't dream about nipping down the shop and leaving your door open. You wouldn't do it. I mean, we've got a door that leads out to another door that leads outside. And we always make sure both of them doors are locked during the day. You know, not even just having the one locked. We have both of them locked. Because, unfortunately, we know that society is in such a way that somebody could just walk down the street and walk straight into your house and wouldn't think nothing of it. They wouldn't think nothing of it because nobody really cares about other people no more. Nobody really gives a toss about other people's properties and stuff like that. I mean, the amount of times, not just in, you know, at my area, obviously all over the country, where you read about people who've been thumped in the street and had the money stolen off them, or basically people have just gone up to them and given them a clumping and then gone off and ran off. People who do hit and runs, people who break into cars and steal stuff from cars, and then if they can't find anything, they'll smash the car up so that it's literally unrecognisable. I mean, I even saw one the other week, this is no word of a lie, on Facebook, and somebody caught them on CCTV stealing the lights out of the garden. They were only your bog standard simple put your light in the ground, get the solar on it, bang, it lights up. They were only them, but somebody caught people on CCTV stealing them. Now, these aren't 100, 200, £300 items. These are things that cost about £3 or £4. I mean, where did we become so horrible? I mean, I like to think that I'm easy to get on with. I've not had many problems with people. I've never given anybody any grief for no reason. I've never just thought, I don't like you, right, that's it, I've got a grudge against you, bang. I know people, I get to know people. I don't judge, even if somebody says to me, you want to be careful of that person, they've done such and such. I want to know both sides of the story. I won't just hear one side and say, right, well, now you've told me, 100% believe you, right, I won't do anything. But for all you know, they could have heard it off somebody else. Who's heard it off somebody else? Who's heard it off somebody else? So nobody knows the actual truth. This person might be as nice as pie. They might be wrongly accused of something. They might even have saying, what you're on about? I don't know anything about it. But we are quite willing to go on the internet and see something and automatically assume that what's on the internet is the gospel truth. Because we, like I said, we don't meet no more. We don't meet to have a bit of a gossip. I speak to my sister on the phone nearly every single day. And when my mum was alive, God bless her, I spoke to her every single day. And my sister spoke to her every single day. Even though she only lived a mile away from me, a mile and a half away from me, I still spoke to her every day. And my mum was brilliant. My mum was one of those people who used to ring you up with some bizarre things like there's a car in the street and I don't know whose it is, or there's people across the road and they're having a cigarette and she was like that, and I used to laugh my socks off at it because I used to think, well, yeah, there's somebody standing in the street having a cigarette. What's the problem? There's a car in the street that you don't recognise. You've got a butty shop on your corner, a sandwich shop. Maybe they've just called in there to pick up some sandwiches. And the best one definitely, across the road from here there was an old building and it was redone up as a cafe. And she rung me one day and she said, I've seen a hell of a lot of people going in at that building across the road and coming back out again. I said, well, it's a cafe. Oh, I know, but I've seen a lot of people going in there. And I'm like, it's a cafe. What are people supposed to do? Go in and then get gas chambered or something? Are they supposed to go in and then come out the roof or go out the back so nobody can see them? It's a cafe. But my mum made me think about how paranoid we all are about anything. You see something in the street that you don't recognise, you're immediately suspicious of something bad. You don't think it could be something good. You never think it could be something good. You don't think, I bet that's such and such. It's like the old brown envelope thing, right? If you're in the UK, you would know that if you get a brown envelope, usually it's off the social. And brown envelopes off the social usually mean they're going to moan about something, they're going to tell you that something's changing, or they're going to say to you, look, we've had word that you're working or whatever, you should have told us, blah, 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 blah. So everybody always used to dread brown envelopes off the social. And it's the same kind of thing. You never thought, that brown envelope might tell me that they're giving me more money, or that brown envelope might tell me that they've underpaid me, so they've got to owe me some money. You immediately think, oh dear, that's going to be something bad. And that's how people are now. That's what I'm saying. Where's the community spirit gone? In Braidley, in 1977, so I'm going back now, 43 years, there was the Queen's Silver Jubilee. Now, this was the last time I remember this happening. There was a great big massive street party. And I'm talking a street party to beat all street parties. And it literally was the full length of our street in Unwin Street. Now, bear in mind, Unwin Street was massive. It was a real long street from top to bottom. It was a good 15, 20-minute walk, trust me, on a slow day. Even worse when you were coming back up it. And we lived 2/3 of the way up. And on this day, everybody put tables out in the road, right? And I'm talking tables all joined together, going all the way down the road. And everybody put tons of food out. Anything you could possibly eat or drink was on these tables. But nobody turned around and said, well, these are our tables, you can't have off these, you can only have off them. You could walk up and down the entire street, eating and drinking whatever you wanted, what was outside, what was on these tables. And nobody batted an eyelid, nobody questioned it or nothing. And when it come round to bonfire night, all those kids, those raggedy ass kids, about July, would start collecting bonfire wood. And we would collect it from everywhere. We would go around finding old furniture that people didn't want and then cutting them open, see if there was any money down the side. You know, the kind of thing kids do. And then we would get them and we would pile them in the middle of this field, right? This big, massive field. And sometimes you could end up with, what? It could be 20 or 30 metres square, this bloody pile of wood, because we've been collecting it for months. And come bonfire night, all the families would gather off the estates, off the entire estates. That's Ulming Street, Sherratt Street, Brammer Street. All the area would literally go across to this thing. Now, nobody charged anything for going. You know, there wasn't like people going, oh, that costs this. And the butcher round there, we used to call him Pat Butcher because that's all I thought his name. Pete Butcher, sorry. I thought that's what his name was, but it wasn't. It was Peter Dean. And he had this brilliant butcher's shop. And what he would do on November the 5th is he would come around in the evening while we got this bonfire and bring across these great big massive tins, and I'm talking big cooking pot tin things, massive things, jam-packed full of soup, and he would dish it out to anybody who wanted it. There was no charge. He would just dish it out. He would just go, there you go, ladle of soup, there you got some hot soup down, it's cold night and all that, fireworks going off, and one adult would be in charge of the fireworks. You know, kids wouldn't be throwing them at each other. Kids wouldn't be pushing each other into the fire and nothing. It was all very, very well done and everything. I don't ever remember anybody getting burnt or hurt, any of these. But then I think what happened, you see, is health and safety came along. And it ruined childhood. It ruined childhood. I was lucky that it didn't come along till after I'd left, if you know what I mean. I'd already gone older and stopped doing things like that. But the next generation came along, and suddenly it was, no, you can't do that because you've got to have permission from such and such to have the fireworks, and then you've got a health and safety certificate. So people are have to go through all this rigmarole and all this crap just so that they can let some fireworks off for the community. And it just ruined it completely. You know, I mean, I was one of those kids who used to do silly things like jump down hills and roll around in dirt and God knows what, and, you know, fall into lakes and all sorts of stuff, and jump in Banky Brook and all this. You know, and you did all this kind of stuff, and you never thought, oh no, I might catch something, I will be ill. You got used to it. Your body got used to it. You did these things. You enjoyed doing these things. And now, hardly any of that's about, because of health and safety. Oh, no, you can't go near that water. Oh, no, there could be anything in that. You could catch anything off that. It's like, yeah, but we did it. And most of my generation, 90% of us anyway, are still here. And we didn't come down with severe illnesses. We didn't come down, you know, with bloody impetigo or whatever. We had we had the conditions that you have when you're a child. Nearly everybody I know had German measles. Nearly everybody I know had a flu or a cold. And a few of them had gastroenteritis, right? And after that, there was nothing. There was nothing. You never had like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 kids in the same classroom having the time off because they were all ill at the same time. If one kid got ill, he got ill. It didn't spread through the school like wildfire. I don't remember anything like that. I don't remember anything like that. I don't remember any time going into my school and seeing 12 people missing out the class because they were all ill at the same time. It didn't happen because we exposed ourselves to the germs. I'm not saying go out and expose yourself to this COVID thing. I'm not talking about COVID here in no way, shape or form. So before anybody starts having a go at me about saying don't say that, it's nothing to do with COVID. I'm talking about community spirit, and I'm talking about how things have changed in each generation. And I can see the next generation even worse because they'll never leave their screens. Everything will be screen-based. I mean, it'll be a future where when you want something, you will have like an implanted chip in your arm and you'll be able to press something and something will come up on your arm on like a computer screen or something like that. You won't have to do anything for yourself. You won't have to think for yourself because everything will be done for you. I mean, it's bad enough now that everything gets done for us, but it's going to be even worse soon. You know, I mean, I used to love going downtown, right, and going in places like back then, C&A and stuff like that, and all the clothes shops, and trying on clothes in the changing rooms. You know, it was good fun to do, and it was a bit awkward sometimes as well, especially the size of the changing rooms. But now they've got augmented reality changing rooms, where you can stand in front of a screen and it will put the outfit on you and show you what you will look like wearing that outfit. but it doesn't show you how comfortable that's going to be. It just shows you a cloth slammed onto your body. You don't know how it's going to hang. You don't know if it's going to be tight in places you don't want it to be tight. You don't know if it's going to be awkward to move or a bit dodgy when you're trying to turn around or something like that. You won't find that out from augmented reality. You've got to be able to try something on. Now, Amazon do a brilliant thing where they do like a try and buy thing, and it's really, really good with clothes. Now, I did it a few months back with footwear. I ordered myself, because what it says with my feet, I can't wear anything without a back on it because my feet are knackered because of this CMT that I've got. My feet are literally no use, hardly. And I have to have sandals with a strap at the back and a strap across the front, but they can't be closed. They've got to be open so that my feet can push through. And I thought, well, hang on a minute, let's get a few different pairs. And I think I've got 3 pairs. And they came, and all you do, basically, you try them on, you decide which ones you want, and then you send the other 2 back. Now, that's fantastic, you see. I don't mind doing that because with me suffering with anxiety and depression and stuff, I do not do too many people at once. And I know if I go down to somewhere like Primark, now Primark can get absolutely mental in our town centre, and it probably can in yours if you've got a Primark. You can go down there sometimes and you cannot move. There are literally people left, right, centre, behind, in front. If you're on an escalator, there's 20 in front, there's 20 behind, and it's horrible, and I can't handle that now. So to me, this kind of thing is ideal. But I'm still trying the stuff on. I'm getting to feel what it's like. I'm not just saying, computer, put my shoes on my feet for me. You know, it's amazing how not only selfish we become, but how lazy we become. Now, if anybody is a child of the 80s or 70s, they will remember video recorders when they first came out. And video recorders used to have a remote control, but not like remote controls now. They were attached with a cable, and it ran all the way to the video recorder. Now, the TVs didn't have remotes. If you wanted to turn over the channel, you got up and you had to press a button to turn it over. And then if the picture wasn't quite right, you had to twiddle the knob thing to try and tune it in a little bit better. Or you play ghosties with the aerial sometimes, especially if it was an old, small, portable one. You'd have to put the metal aerial and bend it and put tin foil around it and anything just to try and get a decent picture. Right, then obviously they decided that this wasn't right. So what they did, they made remote controls without cables. And that was the start of us being lazy, to be honest. Because now everything can be done for you, almost. But the trouble is, the next generation, it won't be almost, it will be everything. You will literally wake up in the morning and you will have everything done for you before you've even got out of bed. So by the time you've got out of bed, your breakfast's ready, your cup of tea's ready, you know, your stuff's ready in the bathroom, so you can just go straight in, literally press a button and bang, your teeth have been brushed. And it's scary because this is why we've got this problem where people are not communicating, they are not meeting, they are not enjoying each other's company. Now, obviously, this COVID thing has put a kibosh on that for now, but this has been going on for a lot longer than that. This has been going on for absolutely years. And I just wonder, if we're this selfish now and we can't be bothered with people now, what are we going to be like the next 2, 3, 4 generations? People are going to be so suspicious of each other. They're not even going to make friends anymore. Because you could have a friend 1 minute, find out that they are, I don't know, a criminal mastermind or something or other, and you think, well, hang on, I've had that friend for 30 years, and I never knew this. But other people are more willing to say, oh, well, hang on a minute, he's a criminal mastermind. I don't know him, but I've been told he is, so that's fine. Do you know what I mean? I've got a lot of friends that are from my school days. I've still got a few of them on Facebook. Don't get me wrong, they don't come see me, I don't see them, etc. But I talk to them. I'll still say hello, how you doing, what's up, how's your life, how's your kids, etc., etc. And they'll do the same with me. Because as you get older, you will find that you do not make many friends. You don't. But the ones you do make are important, very important. Because I've never been one of these people who wants to have 300 friends. You know, I don't want to get invited out 15 times a week by different people. I'm not like that. I'm quite, I'm happy with a small group of people. 2 or 3, 4, 5, maybe 5 at a push. But after that, Nah, I'm sorry. It dilutes everything then. You're diluting everything. Anyway, I said I was going to have a bit of a rattle and I've ended up doing 20 minutes. Sorry for boring you. Anyway, I'll do another video, vlog tomorrow. Don't forget, today's was Jack Torrance from The Shining. It's apt, actually, that the light's shining on him, isn't it, if you think about it? There you go. Jack Torrance from The Shining, complete with bloodied axe. I like that. I think that's pretty cool, actually. So you all take care, and I'll do another vlog tomorrow. Bye for now.